Hi everyone, Stan White from Scrapper's Workshop here with another video quick tip for you. What we're going to talk about today is a very popular text effect that got really popular when Photoshop came out with their CS line, and this is the type style that they used for that, and it's called the letterpress effect. Letterpress came about from an old way of printing where they actually impressed the metal of the type down into the paper, so it created a really nice little shadow effect. It's really easy to create, and it looks really good on a lot of scrapbooking layouts. So why don't we go ahead and get started here. What I have first is I have a little layout here. Mine happens to be 700 by 700. I just filled it with some nice blue background, but your size can be any size that you need, and the background can be any color that you need. So what we want to do first is we want to make the background a little bit more interesting instead of just this flat blue background. So I'm going to go to Filter, Render. I'm going to render some lighting effects on here, okay? And yours will probably look like something like this when you open it up. What you want to do is you want to move your handles around until you get something like this. What we're aiming for is just a little bit lighter at the top, darkening around the edges. I think that looks pretty good. You can click OK. You see now we have a nice little spotlight effect here. So now let's go ahead and do our type effect here, okay? You want a big, bold kind of font. I used Myriad Pro for this one and set to bold, okay? I want to make sure my color is set to a dark gray. I'm going to use 40-40-40, and I'm going to go ahead and click. And I'll just go ahead and try and recreate the Photoshop icon. So I'm going to do P and a small s. Click OK. Now that is definitely not big enough, so I'm going to just go Control T and drag it and make it bigger. There we go. We can see it much better now. Now when yours came up, it probably looked like this, okay, with the S kind of separated, and that's not really what the logo looks at. That S is tucked up close into there. So what we want to do to fix that is to go ahead and select your type, and then having your character and paragraph feature open, which you get by clicking that icon right there, brings up this dialog box. You want to go to this feature is called the kerning. Kerning is the spacing between letters, okay? You want to set the kerning to something minus, like a -50. You'll see that that tucks that S right up underneath there. So that looks really good. So now we'll go ahead and we'll recreate our letterpress effect. And it's really just three fairly simple little layer styles. So to do our layer styles, we want to go up to our type layer, right click, and select blending options. So there's our blending options. So first one we want to do is we want to do an inner shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and click on inner shadow. You want to make sure it's set to multiply. Percentage you want to set to 90%. Global light can stay at 120, that's fine. And the size is 5, 0, and 13. And you'll see that gives it a nice kind of pushed in look to the type, okay? So now comes the magic, okay? We're actually going to use our drop shadow to actually create a highlight on this text instead of a shadow. So this is a really cool effect, and this is the one that makes this look correct. We're actually going to go ahead and change our blend mode from multiply to normal, and here's the secret. We're going to change this black shadow to white. There we go. And look at that really cool well, it's a shadow. It's really a highlight in this point that it puts on there. Now, of course, I need my settings back up here. So I'll come back to my blending options and drop shadow. Now, for this, we're going to leave it at 120. I want to lower this down a little bit, probably 3 and 2, and percentage, somewhere in like the 30s or so here, maybe 40. Yeah, right there. That looks good. So it's just a subtle highlight that you added onto there. Now the last thing we want to do is we want to add a gradient overlay to this to complete the effect. So go ahead and select gradient overlay. Again, set to normal. Make sure this is set to black to white. Okay. Oh, excuse me, not normal. Set your blend mode to overlay. And your opacity is going to be fairly low, somewhere like in the 20s, high teens, 20s, somewhere right in there I think is perfect. And go ahead and click OK. And there you have your effect. It looks really, really, really good. Now if you want to change the color of the type, that's easy to do. With your type tools still selected, here's your color. You can just go ahead and select a different color. And you'll see it changes and it'll keep that effect on there for any different color that you want to do. So thanks for listening to our video quick tip. You can find this and other quick tips at our website, www.scrappersworkshop.com. Thanks for listening.